Hi, I'm Matt with eTrailer, and today we're talking about the Thule OnShore Fishing Rod Carrier. Now this will be a great option for you to take your longer fishing rods from point A to point B, and it's something that's not going to take up a whole lot of space on top of your roof or your garage. So let's check it out. We're going to have plenty of different options to carry your fishing rods. You're going to have more on your entry-level side, and that's going to be anything like your ski carriers that can also carry fishing rods, something that's going to have your rods completely exposed, and it won't have as secure locking mechanisms for them to sit. We're also going to have, on the more premium side of things, the fully enclosed carriers specifically designed to carry your fishing rods. And those will be lockable too, so your fishing rods are going to be completely secure. And then we're going to have that middle of the road option, what we have today. And that's going to be this Thule carrier that is partially enclosed and lockable. So our reels are going to be what's enclosed in the space where we have the rest of our rods sticking out. Whether you have rods that are maybe a little bit more affordable, or if you have some more premium, and what type of fisher you are. If you're that guy who just kind of goes fishing once in a blue moon to go out with some friends, or if you're the guy who's going out every chance he gets and you get at more of a competitive level with it. You're probably wondering how this does hold your rods in this enclosed area. We're going to have this lock cord at the very end with our two included keys, one that you can keep on your person and the other you can keep on your keychain. Now, one thing I have noticed operating this is this lid is not the greatest. If I'm being honest. It's a little bit hard to operate with me pushing up like this. It wants to fall back down. Sometimes it'll hold itself up. So what you really have to do is just give it a good shove until it pushes all the way to the other side. The inside is going to have 4 sets of clamps that hold up to 4 different rods. And I actually do like how some of them fit with this design of your reel being further away from the rod itself. This is going to be more ideal for this clamp style because we're going to have this hook, and what this hook does, it prevents your rods from pushing forward, just giving you a better fit overall. And with that out of the way, you'll notice there's 2 notches in that clamp right there in the center. And that's what's really grabbing onto the base of that reel. As opposed when we look at a different style, right here you notice it's still giving us a really good fit, and it's still going to prevent it from sliding forward right here, but it doesn't seem like it's as made for or designed to really work with this rod as well. And something I do like about these hooks up top is, if you notice right at this point, there's going to be different notches for this to seat into. And that's really nice because, like I was talking about, you're going to have different types of reels. So whether you have something that's more thin like this, or you have something that's a little bit thicker like either one of these 2 options. And the way these clamps are offset is designed for when your reels are sitting next to each other, they're not going to make contact or scratch each other up. At the very end, we're also going to have these openings that have this rubber molding. That's where your rods are going to sit down and lay. And we're going to have that incorporated onto the top of the lid as well. So it's not going to be pinching everything, and everything's going to be giving not only a good snug fit, but also it's not going to be likely to damage or scratch anything up. And with this opening, it is a little bit larger, so of course there are going to be elements getting in here, but I really don't mind that as long as my rods are really being held in place safely and nothing's getting damaged. You're also going to have a second set of these on the back side, and that's going to be for if you want to put this on your passenger side too. You can flip this so it's a little bit easier to access. And if you do have longer handles that do stick pretty far out, this is going to allow them somewhere to sit so they're not getting in the way of your box. As for the front side, it's going to be a lot simpler in its design. The way you're operated too is just with a button, and this opens up much easier than our backside too. And really, we're going to have this foam molding inside. So you have a nice soft spot for your rods to rest, along with these little divots. That's for your rods to really seat into so they're not sliding all over the place. With this carrier having more of an open design to it, that's going to increase the length of the rods you can carry. And that's going to be all the way up to 12 feet. Now, comparatively to more of our enclosed carriers, while those are going to have a total length that you can store in those two, is usually not going to be as high as what we have right now. And honestly, this might be one of your only options if you have some more really long rods that you don't want to break down. And I know I mentioned earlier about potential water getting into the carrier itself. And what they've done is built in these holes, and these are going to act as drain holes. So if any water does start to build up in here, then that's going to allow it to drain out. The way our carrier is going to attach to our roof is via a roof rack. Now what we have today is actually a roof platform, which is something a lot less common, but it is an option. Now, if you don't have a roof rack already, you can find one of those onto our website. And if you want to find the right one for you, you can plug in your vehicle's information into a fit guide to find the right fit for you. But the way this is going to attach to the roof rack itself is we're going to have some clamps on the bottom of the front part of the carrier and the rear part of the carrier. And this is going to have bolts that run through either side and connect to this bottom section. And once you tighten those into place, that's going to secure this down onto the crossbars. And with most of our carriers, especially the enclosed ones, they're really all going to be made out of the same material or very similar materials, like what we have today being a ABS plastic, something that's very durable and going to be able to withstand those elements. Now, something to think about too is storing those enclosed boxes or carriers. The one we have today is going to be very small compared to some of the other ones that are about 8.5 feet long. Trying to store that in your garage or any other type of spot could be really difficult. With this one, you can actually just store the front part of the carrier into the box itself, and finding room for this as opposed to 8.5 feet is going to be a lot easier to do. Really, my only complaint about this carrier is going to be the flimsiness of that lid. But if that's something you're willing to look past and you think this is going to be a great fit for you and your rods, then I do think this is a great carrier for those ability to really be compact, not take up a whole lot of space on your roof or your garage, and the ability to carry those longer rods. But that was just our look at the Thule OnShore Fishing Rod Carrier. Thanks for watching.